But if we tab back into object mode, see these lines here? These like, you can see the geometry, and you really wouldn't want that on an axe or anything like that, because it just looks like you want this to be, your handle's going to be basically smooth. So what we can do is let's go up here, and under shading, if we hit smooth, see how it smooths everything out. You can hit flat, go back to it, or we can hit smooth. Okay. All right, so another thing we can do is if we want to add a little bit more definition to it, let's go over to our modifier panel. Let's click on it, and let's go ahead and do a subdivision surface. And your subdivision surface, like I said, this is a non-destructive, so it's just, if I got rid of it, go right back to where it was. So subdivision surface, and when it renders, it's going to be on 2, a view of 1, because of just to make the processor speed, because it will slow your processor down a little bit and slow your screen time down. So, but now it's kind of doesn't look like there's maybe a cartoon axe or something, but there is no sharp edges. Everything's kind of rounded because it's like faked a geometry, I guess it would be. So let's go ahead and tab back into edit mode, and I'll show you how to sharpen up these edges. So if we still want the front of our edge to be sharp here, let's go ahead and alt select this loop here. Now if I were just to grab this, see how it just goes kind of crazy here? So just right click, get out of that. So what we want to do here is if I select this with alt right click, we would like to do, if we hit Control E, you come up with another menu here. And the name of this is Edge Slide. So if I hit Edge Slide, that means I can move my edge, and it just slides along. If it gets bigger, it kind of grows around it. So we want to slide this way up to the edge here, pretty close to the end. And see, that sharpens that up. Now we might want, and this will allow us to put more cuts in here. So we might want this edge, instead of being how it goes and it kind of smoothly rounds up, we want it to be more of a sharp crease there. So what we can do is we can hit Control R, add another cut here, and if I pull that back closer to this, it'll sharpen up that edge. See, now that's sharpened that edge up. And I can do one on the other side too, but I think maybe that's what, let's tab into object mode. No, I think I want the other side sharpened up too. So tab into edit mode, and then let's go on this side of the cut and do another Control R. And slide that up pretty close. Now if I hit tab, still a little bit strange looking, but we will fix that up. Okay, so now we'll tab back into edit mode. Let's go ahead and add a cut this way. So we'll do another Control R, and we'll pull that up. Kind of tighten that edge up a little bit more. Control R, and we'll tighten this edge up down here. Okay, so yeah, that's what we want there. Now this back edge, it's kind of rounded too, but we really don't want it that rounded. We might want it a little bit rounded, but if we do a Control R here, slide that one out. Maybe we want a little bit rounded. So the farther away we are, the more rounded it'll be. So if we get pretty close, kind of a round look to it. Let's do another Control R here and pull this one up so it's not so rounded. And then go into 7 key. Maybe we would like one here. Pull that one, that sharp. And maybe one here. Pull that up like that. Okay, I think that's pretty much, the axe is pretty, I think, the way we want it. Okay, another shortcut key, because we want to work on the handle just a little bit. Maybe we want, the handle is also rounded now, which isn't too bad, but we might want it a little less rounded. And the same way with the top of the handle, it's a little rounded. But you might think, well, if I click in here, I can get, I might click back on, and I don't want it on the axe, I just want it to handle. So one thing you can do here is if I click any part of the axe mesh, because these are two separate, they're one object as in object mode, they're both the cube, but they're separate objects in edit mode, they're not attached to each other. So if I select any part of the blade here, and I hit Control L, it'll only select every vertice that's attached to the vertice that I selected. And I can hit the H key. So now I'm pretty free to go in here and go Control R and tighten this up, because this one's going to be pretty sharp at the top. That's the way they usually look, I believe. And I'm free to go down here. Now it's going to be a little bit more rounded at the bottom, so let's go ahead and just tighten it up just a hair. Maybe something like that. Okay. Deselect everything. And we want our axe to come back, our blade to come back. So what we can do is, now if we hit Alt H, right there's our axe back. And you can do this too in, like say I don't know, I've got a very complex mesh and I just want to get rid of part of my mesh. I can box select a group of them like this, and if I hit H, there it's gone. And then I can work in here if I would have to, and then just Alt H, bring it right back. Okay, so that's basically, let's tab back into object mode. That's basically how you start to build a object.